Have you ever had the feeling that leads are coming in, but somehow they're just not turning into work? People are reaching out, you're spending money to make the phone ring, and yet somewhere between that first contact and the signed job, they slip away, and you're not even sure where they went. If that's a nagging feeling you've had, then you're going to like this episode. Today, I'm going to be talking about why leads slip through the cracks for service businesses, where the leaks actually are, and the simple system every service business needs to stop losing the work you've already earned. By the end, you're going to know exactly what to put in place. Welcome back to Behind the Strategy. The last few episodes were about getting found. Now, today is about what happens next, because getting found is only half of it. This is the follow-up system every service business needs. The most expensive lead is the one you already paid for and then you lost it. You did the hard part. You got someone to reach out. Losing them after that is pure waste. And it's more common than anyone wants to admit. For service businesses, the leak usually is not just at the top of the funnel. It's in the middle. Leads come in and then nothing catches them. Speed matters more than most owners realize. There's a term for this, speed to lead. It just means how fast you respond after someone reaches out. And the pattern is pretty consistent. The businesses that respond first and fast tend to win the work far more often. And it's often not because they're better or cheaper. It's because they were there first. If you think about that for a minute, buyers have less patience than ever before, and they rarely reach out to just one business. Let's be honest, they contact a few, and they're filling it out. Whoever responds first and makes it easy often gets the job before others have even seen the inquiry. Let that sink in for just a minute. So, I always like to do a gut check. Think about the last 5 people who reached out to you. Can you tell me right now what happened to each one? Where are they in your process? Did anyone follow up? Here's the hard truth. If you can't answer that quickly and confidently, you don't have a follow-up problem, you have a system problem. And a system problem is fixable. Okay, now I know that was a lot to take in. So let's find the leaks. Leads don't fall through the cracks because you're bad at the work you do. They fall through the cracks because there is no system catching them. And if I sound passionate about this, I am. Because let's be real for a minute. It's hard enough to be in business and do the service business that you provide. Then you add marketing and advertising on top of it. And to think leads are coming in and they're falling through cracks or they're not being followed up on. I'm here to tell you it's super frustrating. Here's where it usually happens. Nothing captures the lead. So let's talk about that for a minute. If someone calls you by phone, do you write that down on a piece of paper? Do you plug it into Word or Excel? Do you use a notepad system on your phone? Do you have a system that you use in your business? A CRM, an all-in-one, or an industry-specific system? Now, what if they come in through your website? I'm hoping you have a form, a contact form or an inquiry form on your website. Do you get email notifications? Do you have to go somewhere and log in to check for that information? And then does it get put in Word, Excel, a note in your phone? Does it get written down in a notepad? The same goes for text. Worse yet, and I'm chuckling because I was here at one point in time. Does it live in your memory, in your head, or in a sticky note? Forget a system. Forget a notebook. Forget Word or Excel. I remember the sticky note days, and I'll be honest, it's not a good look for decorating. It's just not. Those things that I just mentioned, that is several different options and ways leads can come in. If it's entered or written down somewhere real, will it get forgotten? I hope not. But still, the response is slow. A slow response doesn't work these days. Not with all of the technology that is available that can help businesses through autoresponders, through automations in different systems. Most of the time, someone is not sitting right there in front of their computer or with their phone in their hand to reply back within just a couple of minutes. Now, if somebody out there is listening and you do that, great, hats off to you. But for most, that's not the case. You're busy doing the work your business provides. So if it takes hours or days to respond back, by the time you've replied, they've already hired the business that answered first. That could be a competitor with way less experience and expertise than you have. It could be someone that just got in the business, that just opened their doors, who isn't as busy as you are. And the first impression is better customer service. When in reality, potentially the service they're going to provide is not as good as what you would. Now, another one is there's no follow-up after the first contact. I don't know about you, but life is busy for most people. We'll do our best to stay on top of all things, not just business, but personal. It's a fast-paced world out there. Now you throw in all the digital things, and I'm talking about on a personal level. Follow-up is key after the first contact. You want to stay top of mind, not just sending a quote, an estimate, some type of communication, or have one phone call and then silence. It doesn't cut it anymore. Most jobs need more than one touch. And if the second and third doesn't happen, you don't have a shot at getting that customer. And I said it already, and I'll say it again. Leads come in from too many places to keep track of. I could sit here and list them again. Phone, website, social, referrals. The list goes on and on. And if we're being 100% honest, some of those leads or messages simply never get seen. The whole thing depends on one busy person remembering. So when the owner is out on a job, the follow-up doesn't happen. The system is a human being, and human beings get busy. I'm going to give you a real example. And this one honestly stopped me in my tracks. I recently sat down with a long-established service business, 30 plus years in their trade, spending thousands of dollars a month on advertising. Real money every single month for years. And when I asked them how many leads all that advertising brought in, they didn't know. When I asked what system they used to track their leads, they actually looked at me like I had two heads. And I got an answer. We use QuickBooks for invoicing. Period. That was it. That was the whole answer. So I walked it back step by step. When a lead comes in, what happens? We answer the phone. Okay, then what? We go look at the project and send over a proposal. Then what? Well, they call us back if they want to move forward. Okay. Where do you write down the name, the number, the address? They didn't write it down anywhere. And here's the part I can't stop thinking about. During my 1 hour with them, they got 4 or 5 phone calls that came in. They didn't write down a single name, phone number, or address. thousands of dollars a month going out the door for advertising, and no idea how many leads were coming in, how many were converting, or one single thing in place to follow up with them. They're not bad at their trade. Actually, they're great at it. They just had no system, and it was quietly costing them every single month. That's the leak. Not talent, not effort, a missing system. And you cannot fix or even see what you're not tracking. I told them plainly, before I would touch $1 of their advertising, they had to put a real system in place that they would use, because I will not guess at a strategy. That's how much this matters. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what does the fix actually look like? Let me give you the good news. A follow-up system does not have to be complicated or expensive. It just has to exist. And it has to not depend on you remembering. Here's the simple version every service business needs. There are 3 parts of the system. Capture every lead in one place. One system, a CRM, where every inquiry lands no matter where it came from. Phone, a form, a referral, any of it in one place you can actually see. If you can see it, then you can work on it. Respond fast every time. This is speed to lead in action. The faster you reply, the more you win. Even a simple automatic first response buys you time and tells the person, hey, you're on it. Follow up on a rhythm automatically, not once, a few touches on a schedule, so the people who didn't say yes right away still hear from you without you having to remember to reach out. So where's automation fit? Right here. This is where automation earns its keep. The right system can send that instant first message, remind you when it's time to follow up, and keep every lead moving without a manual step. You set it up once and it works while you're out on a job. It's a tool that does the remembering for you. Here's what it looks like in practice. I can tell you about it. I worked with a client in the wedding and event space, and we put in one simple automation. The moment a lead came into their system, it triggers an email back to that person automatically. It thanks them for reaching out, lets them know their inquiry is being reviewed, and they'll hear back within 24 to 48 hours. It also includes in that email, that auto response, pricing, and gives them a link to schedule a time to meet. One automation, no manual step. And here's why it mattered so much in their world. If someone inquired at 3 p.m. on a Friday, that message might not get seen by their team until, 10 a.m. on Monday morning. That doesn't sound like a long time, but I'm here to tell you, when someone's planning a wedding, time is everything. And often the business that responds first is the one that gets booked. And you might be thinking to yourself, yes, but the person that's going to respond first possibly is the one sitting on their couch with nothing to do. You're exactly right. That one automatic response kept people warm over a whole weekend and moved them to the next step, all without anyone lifting a finger. That is the difference a system makes. Same idea as the first story I shared with you. I just flipped it. One business had no system and was losing leads they paid good money for. The other one put a small system in place and started catching them. That's the whole game. Having a follow-up system. So where do we go from here? What's the path forward? Don't try to build the perfect system. Please don't. Build the first piece. First step, pick one place for every lead to live. One system. Even starting simple Get every inquiry into one place you can see. The second step, set up one automation. It's that first response, that automatic first response. So every person who reaches out hears back immediately, even when you're busy on a job. The third step, decide your follow-up rhythm. How many times and when? Then automate whatever you can so it isn't writing on your memory. Take it from me, you don't want to do that. This right here is what behind the strategy is about. You don't need a complicated system. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. You do not need a complicated system. You need the right system, the simple one that catches what you're currently losing in place and working consistently. So, why do leads slip through the cracks? Almost never because you're bad at what you do. It's because there's no system catching them. Nothing captures the lead. The response is slow. The follow-up depends on someone remembering. Put a simple follow-up system in place. Capture every lead in one spot. Make sure you respond in a timely fashion. The faster, the better. Follow up on a rhythm. And you stop losing the work you've already earned. Now, if you want to look at where your leads are actually slipping and what a simple system would look like for your business, you can book a free 15-minute call with me. Just visit KristinaStubblefield.com and you're going to find a spot on my website that you can book a call. And I'm here to tell you, there's no pressure. It's not a sales pitch. It's just a conversation. Now, I know that over the last few episodes, I've given you a lot to put in place. Systems, follow-up, all of it. So next week, we're doing the opposite. I'm walking through 5 marketing tasks you can actually stop doing in 2026. Consider it your permission to do less and do it better. If your plate feels full right now, that's exactly the episode for you. And I hope to see you there.